だったらその殺気を引っ込めてくれねえか。ここでやろうってんなら別に構わねえけどな。
Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Thank y'all so much for being here. We sure appreciate y'all. Hope y'all are ready for a 12-hour stream event. Good grief. It's going to be a long one, but excited. Andy, what's up, man?
Hello. Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. I'm obviously not going to be here for the full 12 hours, but I'll be here for a few hours after Irezumi.
Hell yeah.
I'm drinking full calf tea at the moment.
Got some nice coffee going. It's s'mores flavored.
That sounds delicious.
Yeah. So yeah, we are back for Irezumi this week. You guys last time were doing a lot of setup. Eddie got interrogated by a police officer.
Almost got arrested.
I was sure you were fucked.
I rolled a not 20 on charisma.
You guys are planning on offing a member of your own organization.
Yeah.
Igarashi Ryoko. There's lots of rumors of it him possibly being a police informant or a rat or whatever. He didn't go down with his old boss. And you guys decided that he would make the perfect person to take out of the picture to, make it look like every single Yakuza family in the area is having issues. And so yeah, last session you guys are planning on doing that. While Eddie was being interrogated by a police officer. Yeah, that pretty much brings us into this week, where you guys should be taking all the stuff that you've been working on over the last
One
couple
second,
of sessions.
Andy. I want to do something just before we get started.
Yeah.
Now we're ready. Red in this bitch.
All the red light.
So, I'm like Doomslayer in this bitch.
So yeah, can't remember exactly how you guys were planning going around offing Igarashi, but that was the plan.
Yep.
I'm not mistaken. I was gonna make him vulnerable, which was gonna allow Itomi to get in and get stabby, while the Yankee did something. I can't remember what though.
Yes.
Hit
what was it, the laundering center?
Yes, to get us paid.
Yep.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And I'm going around there under the guise of collecting it on behalf of my father, who is another reasonably high-ranked member of the organization.
Yep. Oh, the music bot fell out of the.
I got it. Don't worry about
it. Yeah. Eddie, you were gonna go get rid of a painting.
Yep.
Okay. Then let's start with Derek.
Okay.
Did you have a location specifically that you were heading to find Igarashi?
Did we already do some of the legwork on that? I know mostly we just kind of sat around and planned, but I know that there were some roles involved in there of what we might have been able to figure out and know offhand.
Yeah, I don't think you did any rolling for that, so let's jump in the roll 20. If you can give me a cunning roll.
I mean, I have an idea. If I could just put that forward.
Yep.
I would go meet with this individual under the guise of stabbing my own leader in the back. Like a double cross.
Double cross. Yeah, okay. Then you can set up a meeting with Igarashi. He offered to meet you somewhere quiet, away from the organization's headquarters, because obviously you don't want people overhearing that kind of conversation.
I know where.
See, he'll pick a probably a bar to meet you at.
Could I offer him to meet me at my house? Blow up my own spot potentially, and kind of have to burn that bridge to move forward with my life?
Okay, then yeah. He's probably a bit eager to meet you at your own place. But yeah, he'll agree to meet you at your own apartment.
It's like a small house in like a suburb that my parents left.
Your house.
Me and my brother before my brother went away to prison. Yeah. Radical. So I have some rather nice like French wine waiting and what have you. All the normal accoutrements that one would associate with having like a higher member of their organization in their house, and you know, have like various types of wine, fruits and candies and shit laid out for him and his associates when they come in. I assume he's going to be bringing like some bodyguards or protectors, right?
Yeah, he'll bring some people with him.
So, we're all four on the up and up on what's going on, right? We all know what's going on. Even we brought in Eddie with that at the end of last session, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I would ask Eddie's help. I would have asked Eddie's help ahead of time to prepare food.
Well, Mama, okay?
That could the drug food that they wouldn't be able to tell. Use his expert sushi knowledge to cover up whatever ethers that he puts.
Have Mama help you with it, okay?
With wasabi or what have you.
You grab me a water.
Okay.
That's fine, Raven. Is there anything on Sprite?
Yeah, Eddie, you down with that?
Yeah, I'll be down with that. I wouldn't make it
Is there
into
anything on
sushi
Sprite?
or any types of soups. It would be a hearty dish, sort of like a pork roast. I'm assuming
What?
Sato would have sat
No,
down
Hydration.
and
chat.
actually prepared like a pulled duck, like a stuffed duck meal with complements of rice and whatnot. And he specifically tells you not to sample the duck, but to have some of the chicken instead, letting you know, hey, the duck itself is what's gonna fuck these guys up. Have fucking chicken.
I'll just tell them I'm a vegetarian. They don't know me well enough to know any different.
The only prep that Akimi has is Akimi is there for a very specific reason.
You got
Is looking
time,
to
homie. Figure it out.
Fan. Probably about 100 yards worth of plastic sheeting. 5 meat hooks and probably about 60 feet in chain. And a chainsaw.
Yes, somebody's been watching Itchy the Killer.
Yeah.
We're gonna. There's a little bit of vengeance in this kill, so it's gonna be not quick.
Dramatic.
Not quick.
Sort of like how I did fucking Orochi.
Oh no, it's gonna be we'll fade away for this one versus
I'm sure that is one of the scenes in Itchy the Killer. He hangs some guy up on skin hooks.
What's this called?
Oh, it's
Itchy the
it's
Killer.
Japanese movie, Itchy the Killer.
Okay.
There's also a
Um,
manga of it as well, which
It's,
is ooh,
it's wild.
oh.
It's absolutely wild.
I might have to check this out after.
Thanks for the hydrate, Cody. I didn't see that.
Just make sure there's no goblins around to watch it.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Either of them.
Yeah.
I walk into Ricky's room and he's watching, God, what is that? Goblin Killer, Goblin Slayer.
Goblin Slayer. Oh
Goblin
my
Slayer.
god.
Grayson's
Slayer.
sitting right next to him. I'm like, what are you doing?
It's just
I came
cartoons.
in- I came into some funky shit going on in that TV. I was like, you
Yeah.
turn that off.
Yeah.
Okay, look.
Hey, Dad.
That's only episode 1. I promise you.
It's like the John Wick. It sets up like justification for genocide, basically.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I haven't watched it, but that's what I hear.
Hitch of the Killer is a sadomasochistic
Oh.
romp through Yakuza Tokyo.
Ooh, okay.
And you'll find S&M, necrophilia is covered in it at one point as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Richie the
It's-
Killer.
It's so watch one sort
Body
of movie.
modification.
Starting off the 12-hour stream talking about shit that I don't even know if we're allowed to mention. Let's go.
Okay, it's fine.
Is the live action movie any good?
It's a live action movie that we're talking about.
Oh,
There is
okay.
an anime as well.
And there's a manga that the anime was based on too.
Yeah,
The manga naturally is the most extreme of them.
yeah, manga's nuts.
Okay.
Don't read the manga. Okay, right. So we've got poison food going on. Akemi is laying out all the groundwork for what's presumably going to be the brutal finale of this session, most likely. Okay, cool. Roddy, you're heading to one of the locations where the organization launders its money.
Yep.
Under the guise of being there on your father's behalf.
Yeah.
Eddie, you're probably going to spend part of your day setting up the food for this plan to go ahead.
While my little brother goes and set a nice fire.
Yeah, you went and found some kids in the organization to go burn some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Right. Derek, you are at your own home. Maybe about 5-10 minutes later than you asked. You asked Igarashi to be there. He eventually shows up. There's a knock at the door. You probably heard the car pull up a minute before the knock came at the door.
I have Kagami get it and make myself like, you know, in episode 5 of Star Wars when Darth Vader's sitting at the head of the table and they all walk in. I want to be Darth Vader.
Ah!
Kim? So yeah. Kagami goes and answers the door. You can hear the pleasantries as she greets the guests and brings them into the dining room where you're seated at the head of the table.
Yeah, I rise when they come in and give them like a bow and tell them like welcome. Very excited to have you here to see a wonderful presentation provided for you for to whet your appetites, and then something more promising that's sure to satisfy them. However, before we get to any of the business, I believe we have some food. And I have.
I wouldn't be there to help you. I got my own things to do.
I would hire staff to like come help for this evening. I don't fucking do my own shit. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, you have someone come and bring the food out. laying the table. Igarashi takes a seat, probably next to him. The associates that he's got with him sit on the other side of the table. And yeah, the duck is kind of put in a prominent position on the table. There's other smaller dishes that are laid out.
As they begin serving the food and what have you, I'm gonna be like not laying it on thick at all. I'm gonna be coming in like as subtly as possible. Not even talking about business until like after everybody is finished. And everybody is finished eating, even like his fucking guards or whoever else is gonna be at the table.
Yeah, Igarashi will probably try and push you for business talk, but when he realizes that you're not talking business until everyone's eaten, he'll help himself to a little bit of everything.
So I imagine it's probably going to take a little bit of time for the drugs to kick in. So this is when I begin spinning my web. Would this be when we would enter into like a complex roll? Or?
Yep. Yeah, if you want to.
Oh no. I believe I can do something about that one.
Yeah. Ooh, okay.
That's fine. I will block his 3.
Yeah. He's going to use the 4 against you.
Yep.
To inflict 4 points of composure damage.
It is believe I'm not I get where's my reduction? It's 2 reduction, so that's my rain. A pinger rain. Yeah, so I guess with like the first round I would be, still playing like kind of hard to get insofar as like what information I lay out. I'm saying very ambiguous terms, like whenever he really backs me into a corner in the conversation, I'll be like, well, things are bound to change at some point, and it's all about being at the right edge of that knife. And that's, I guess, how I would roleplay that out.
Yeah, he'll kind of catch on to what you're saying. He starts to make some potentially appealing offers. Like, he sits in a fairly prominent position within the organization that if he was to, find an opportunity to step up, he would make sure that you're compensated for that. You're offered maybe the position that he currently has if he moves up the ladder.
Yeah, I like parse that around in my head for a minute, and then after I'm quiet for like probably 10 seconds, I say, I have it on good word that there's about to be a very particular opening in our organization. And again, which end of that knife do you want to be on? And that's me hitting him with
That's just hitting him 3. Okay. So you, for a 3, you do half your rating damage. Have you got any other bonuses to composure damage?
I am. Oh, I can re-roll one of these dice because I am trying to charm him, so I'm going to re-roll that 1. I knew that I was forgetting something. There we go. That's a 4. That's way better. So I guess I'll be hitting with that 3 and that 4 at the same time because he already hit me with his 4. So that's great news. So I don't need to take more damage from that 1. That's a grand total of 4 damage plus half rounded down, right?
Yeah.
So oh wait, it's still 2. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's still 2. So 6. So a total of 8 damage.
He has some reduction, not that much. Okay. Oof. Okay, that's a. You can see like the curiosity, the ambition, the absolute greed, like just almost being as plain to read on his face as like you would read news in a newspaper. Like you can pretty much see the train of thought of, oh, like when you say that, he automatically assumes that you're on board with what he is offering you.
Hell yeah. All right, next round.
Okay. Yep.
Oof.
Ooh.
Oh man, that's a pitiful round.
Oh. Wow.
Oh
Wow.
no. Oh
Okay.
no. That's okay. So I'm going to block his 3.
So I'm going to spend that 4.
I'm taking a total of half of my own as well, right?
You're taking
Is that
1 point of damage.
Oh, it's just 1. Okay, so I'm taking a total of 5.
Yeah, minus whatever your reduction is.
Minus. Okay.
Yeah. So he seizes the opening in the conversation, where, like, obviously he thinks you're on board. You're talking about this position maybe opening up somewhere above him that he can maybe step into. Like, he's not even going to question who or what that position might be. But like he starts to kind of talk about all the things that he would do if he was within that sort of senior leadership within the organization. Like, some of it sounds appealing. Like he wants to maybe legitimize certain aspects of the business. One of which would be like he's not dumb. He kind of knows that like you have your eyes on the hostess club that's opened up that is up for grabs, and yeah, that sort of side of the entertainment business could be a good segue into legitimizing the organization. And it does sound very appealing enough that a little bit of you is probably weighing up your options. Like, you could go with this guy, or you could stick with your the Wakagashara of the organization. Okay, round 3.
Ouch. That's much more like it. I'm
yeah, yeah, that's a lot.
Still a 2.
A lot better. You've got 2 4s there, and I've got nothing that I can.
Yeah, so I'm parsing this over, and I feel like I'm probably talking myself back around as much as I am talking him back around at this moment. I'm like, I mean, all it would really take for me to get on board would be to give me my club. All I've ever wanted at the end of the day is a ladder to climb, and this is my foothold.
Yeah.
You know, there's this Western writer. He's taking forever to make the next one, but like George R. Martin or something. He said chaos is a ladder. And then I gesture to all of his people and I say, you know, An opening like that would be downright available for anyone, I think. Anybody that could secure the stronghold with it and get enough people to back them. I don't know, what do you think? And I say that like directly to his bodyguard instead of talking to him. Like I'm using rhetoric, basically.
Yeah.
I'm setting him up to give me the answer that I want as a talking. And then I just play off of that. That's me using both of the fours.
Yeah, so like with the 2 fours, you've pretty much you've reduced him to less than 0 composure. So yeah, what is the exact outcome that you're wanting to get out of this conversation?
Complete dissolution of his people's faith in him, as well as him letting his guard down to the degree where instead of him thinking that he was going to come in here with an offer for me, I just gave him the best offer that anybody could give him. Effectively, like, setting him up in the future to take over our Yakuza once, inevitably, our Oyabun has to step down or dies.
Yeah. So yeah, you're, like, planting that seed for him to kind of take what he wants and step into a higher position, but you're also planting the seed to all the bodyguards that they could easily get rid of him and make a similar step up. Okay, yeah, you can see he's completely blissfully unaware, but you can catch a few glimpses between his subordinate, between themselves. And then the whatever Eddie's put in the duck starts to kick in. You see them starting to get a little bit woozy, head spinning a little bit. And like by the time Igarashi is sort of noticed that he's woozy, but he kind of notices his bodyguards and stuff starting to kind of pass out before he eventually sort of gives you this look of absolute shock, like, oh fuck, you were talking about you
Got him!
this entire time, before he eventually sort of passes out on the chair.
Yeah, the last thing that he probably hears is me going...
Just before, yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, you've just got a wicked smile on your face. Like,
I was gonna say, just before he passes out, I'm just smiling at him and I say, "What's the matter, big brother? You don't look so good."
Ah!
Yeah, he'll just like pass out on the table.
I call for my right-hand lady and say, well, let our friend know he's ready. And do something about the rest of these. They probably won't ask too many questions.
She'll bow and head out to the phone. Chuck, you hear the
Go ahead.
you hear the phone ringing.
Is it time?
You hear Kagomi's voice on the other end. It's time.
So Akimi makes their way, and we all know already looks pretty ostentatious most of the time. Just this time, it's this white, sleeveless, looks like leather jumpsuit. Just with these wide, obnoxiously wide, flared out legs with slits all the way up so their tattoos are visible on both sides of their legs. And just the most obnoxiously deep V that goes all the way down. And just walks in with a skinning knife in both hands.
I'm drinking some whiskey and I just kind of like pretend like I don't see you on purpose. Not to give you the cold shoulder, but like, you do whatever you gonna do, homie.
And is everybody still there, or have they been removed already?
Kagome will move some of them with the help of whatever hired help. It was
Little
organized
brothers
to
and
bring out
sisters.
food. Yep.
Got Eddie's help.
Into the car that they arrived in, which they'll probably take and park somewhere, kind of out of the way. So it's only Igarashi who is left.
I refill my glass and exit the room.
Kimi
Mm.
motions.
What you
and-
don't know, you can't confess in a court.
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Kimi motions and they've got some little brothers, little sisters, help lay out plastic on the floor. You got the chains out, the meat hooks out. Got a nice little giant Sony boombox set up on the table.
Don't you forget about me.
Gets Erotic City by Prince playing nice and loud. It just very slowly, very carefully undresses him. Very, very politely, very gently. Gets him completely naked, rolled out on the plastic. The very first thing they do is slice open their scrotum.
Yeah, that wakes him up.
Yeah, I
Totally,
bet it
yep.
does.
Wakes up with a scream.
And then just very quickly takes the other skinning knife, the scream when they sit up, just plants it into their mouth, pushing it all the way through to pin them down to the floor with it.
Oh.
Don't fuck with family.
And then we can
Yeah,
obviously fade to black with chains and hooks, and obviously is gonna have themselves a nice little party with the body for
Mhm.
quite some time.
Yeah. When he wakes up, just as the knife plunges into his mouth and he looks at you, there's almost a like he expected this at some point to happen.
Knew this was coming this day.
That like he's maybe thinking that he should have probably, killed you and your brother after your old man and your like mother went to prison.
Probably would a good idea. Though the thing is, gonna very neatly, we'll have a nice several portraits on the family wall when this is said and done. Specifically in his father's room.
Yeah. Roddy, you are heading to. It's like an arcade casino type place that your
So-
organization.
Before I go there,
Yep.
I'm assuming this is going to be an interaction that might involve like etiquette and composure a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before I go there, what I'm actually going to do is spend some wealth on getting something that will help me out in that situation, because that is my weakest attribute as far as it's all concerned. I basically want to get something that is going to... In fact, I'm going to get 2 items. I want to get one thing that will reduce my damage reduction to composure, and then also something that will add +2 damage to any etiquette rolls that I do.
Yeah, so you're getting something to protect yourself and something to help
Yeah.
you.
The protect thing is going to be something that legitimizes me being there on behalf of my father.
It's maybe one of his he's the leader of a
Yeah.
minor family within the larger organization, maybe. So like
Yeah.
his personal family mon.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like the lapel pin or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's fine.
Yep. So that is going to be 2 of my wealth. And then also something that's going to let me is going to so would that be +2 damage or 1 damage reduction?
Spending 2, it'll be one. Either or, you could take it as a damaging item, or you could like spend the full amount on it and have it do both, work as both.
I'll spend the full amount and have it do both then, yeah. Because I've got.
Yeah, let's.
I was committed to spending all the wealth to get this to really.
So
really kind of invest in this situation.
So that your
Mm.
organization pin badge helps you, you know,
Mm.
deal damage in etiquette rolls, but also gives you a
Yeah.
little bit of
Mhm.
damage reduction. Yeah,
Yeah.
cool. Then yeah, so you get that. You probably fix it to your lapel.
Hmm. In a very, very obvious place. Cool. Right. I'm effectively going to do that before I head out to this other place.
Yeah, so you get yourself all dressed up for
Hmm.
heading there. Cool. Then yeah, you head to this. It's like I said, arcade. That the organization uses for cleaning its money. You know, lots of people come here. They use spare change to use the machine, so it's a kind of easy place to kind of filter through.
Yeah.
Dirty money, and you can. All you do, let a few kids come in at the start of the day, you hand them some cash each and go play whatever games you want. But like, it's one of these things where like members of the organization probably work there, or like keep a close eye on the place, and but the actual person who operates it probably is associated with the Yakuza organization, but probably isn't.
Yeah.
A Yakuza himself.
Yeah. And as always with Daisuke, they hear him coming. They hear that engine from his car.
Yep.
The most obnoxious car on the streets of of our little city that we're in.
Probably have a few like maybe the older kids in particular, like kind of rushing out to see the big American car as it pulls up.
Mm. Yep, I park, get out, and kind of do very much the thing of look about, you know, as if I'm not bothered by literally anything that's going on there, in a very much like, in a very like rock and roll kind of way, like you would imagine like someone would do in like a biker film or something like that, and then head into the place.
So yeah, you head in. So there's probably a few Yakuza here from your organization, just kind of, you know, working protection on the place.
Yeah.
Like genuine protection on the place because it handles money for the organization. But it's all like younger members. This is a sort of job that, you know, newer members of the organization probably get given.
Yeah.
And so, like, your position being higher up the rank than any of the ones working here, like, they'll just kind of give you a nod of recognition, maybe a slight bow when you come in.
Yeah.
And you can make your way through into the back office.
Yeah. And no hesitation, just straight through as if I'm definitely meant to be here.
Yeah. The guy who runs the sort of arcade and the money laundering operation here is a man called Minamoto Ko. Ko is he's a kind of nervous individual. Like you get the feeling that he borrowed money from the Yakuza at some point to kind of help get his business off the ground when a bank wouldn't lend him the money.
Yeah.
And that the organization have just kind of took full advantage of it. Like
Hmm.
he's kind of been pulled into this way of life
Hmm.
because he made one
Mm.
mistake at some point.
Yeah.
So like anytime he's interacting with any member of the Yakuza, like you can see the sweat instantly break out on his forehead when you come into the office. Like,
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, he'll
Mm.
get up from his
Mm.
desk and kind of hold out a sweaty hand to you to shake your hand, and then kind of pulls it back after a moment.
Oh no, he
realising,
doesn't, because I grip very firmly.
Oh,
I give him a very American handshake, shall we say?
you see his eyes widen, like,
And then I let go. If he tries to pull away, I grip harder and then let go afterwards, just to kind of assert myself a little bit.
Okay. Then we'll start this complex interaction.
Before we get to this complex interaction, this stream is sponsored in part by Andy, Lost Haven Art. We are coming up on the end of the first hour, and we need to announce that, because this is completely my fault, and I forgot to do it at the beginning of the stream. It's my bad.
We are all human.
Exclamation point raffle to enter the giveaways. We will be doing 3 giveaways of Irezumi. It's going to be a digital download. You can enter the raffle for that. The winners will be picked probably at the end of like every, I don't know, hour, or we might just do 3 winners at the end of it. Other than that, stay tuned for more giveaways. Thank you, Andy, for sponsoring this giveaway, this charity stream. Much love, Andy. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Cool. Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see how that goes. But yeah, so we'll start the complex interaction. Roddy, if you roll me your etiquette, against this dude, who I'm gonna probably set at low, probably.
Yeah. I mean, just whatever I roll, it's then +2, for the +2 damage thing.
If you're dealing damage, then you'll be adding to it. Then.
Cool.
Oh, yeah, roll 2 4s. Yeah. You've got a 3 and you get to act first. So you can either you can't undo it, either of my 4s, so you're gonna have to just use it to deal damage. So with the 3, you'd be doing half of your trait worth of damage, but you've got the lapel pin, which is adding an extra +2.
+2. That would
So
be 3 in total.
3 in total. He is going to reduce it by 1. Okay, I've got 2 4s there. I'm gonna throw them all at you. For a total of 4 damage. 4 composure damage.
-1 for my damage reduction.
Yep, it's a 3.
Cool.
So yeah, you come in. The firm handshake that you kind of grab him with right off the bat is probably that initial 3 that you've spent where you've kind of caught him off guard. And then he sort of kind of realizes, like, why is this person here? Like, and he's, excuse me, sir, aren't you a little bit early? Like, I wasn't expecting anyone to be collecting any money, at least for a week.
And I say,
I'm here. That knowledge kind of catches you off guard.
And I'm also like saying at the same time, I specifically for this interaction also gave my dad a name now. He's Owahara Kyusuke. Kyusuke as well. I'm here on behalf of, and at that same moment I kind of fiddle with the mon that I've pinned the pin and say, Owahara Kyusuke, my father. I'm here on an errand for him to collect the money. That's like basically kind of what I'm saying. by dropping his name in, thumbing the pin a little bit at the same time to kind of feed it home.
Yeah. Yeah, he's more like you can see his thought processes on the fact that no one told him ahead of time. So if you give me another roll for the second round.
Certainly. Oh.
Okay. Yeah, so you're taking 2 damage from yourself.
Hmm.
And he is going to inflict another 2 points of damage. Yeah, like when you name drop, it doesn't have the reaction that you expected.
Yeah.
He's like, Obahara-san. His collections are normally at the end of the month. I can see them on, but I'm gonna have to go grab one of your associates out there and maybe get them to go confirm that information from Obahara-san. Next round of rolling.
Next round, yep. And then, of course...
Yeah, up to you. You can
This
either
is
use that
intense.
defensively
of course.
or offensively, that free.
Well, I'm going to be doing... They only do the +2 if I do damage.
If you do damage, yep.
I will do damage then.
Yeah. So that is going to be 3 points damage.
Yep.
Okay. And he's also going to do damage to you. So one point, which you'll shrug off
So
with your
shrug off. Yeah.
So you probably maybe even stop him from going out. Try and calm the situation a little bit. But you can tell his mind is probably going a million miles an hour.
Yeah. I'll be saying stuff like, oh no, this is like between my father and Igarashi-san. Like dropping that name in there because I know that this is that's why we're at this particular spot, is because that's related to him.
Yeah, like that. Igarashi is both of them. He's kind of like confused. Give me another roll, please, brother.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oof.
Yeah. So again, you get to choose the reaction first.
Yep. I am doing damage, so that will be
4.
Is that 4 total? Yeah.
He's about to go. Maybe I should call Igarashi-san or Obahara-san, and then you kind of cut in to kind of end the interaction. How are you going about that?
I go in. I start basically because I'm like been brought up around the organization. I know lots of names and stuff like that. So I start just kind of raining off names. Oh well, he spoke to him and he told him that this was to happen, which is how I got back to him and then him, and then eventually it got back to Igarashi-san and Owahara and my father asked Igarashi for a favor, so I've come to collect the money on my father Owahara Kyosuke's behalf. And I just flood him with all these names that if he's familiar with the organization at all will kind of make him go, oh shit. Like, it gives him that feeling that if he doesn't give me this money, he's in the shit with like 10 different guys that will probably have his balls for it.
He was just about to reach for the phone. You see him kind of pull his hand back and wipe the sweaty palms on his trousers. How much money is Igarashi-san loaning your father? I can take it from his account.
Did we agree on an amount last week of
I
any kind?
don't think there was actual number thrown around, but
No.
you probably need a few million yen,
Yeah. Mm.
or about tens of million yen. Because I think the idea, Derek, was you wanted to match.
Option 4 in Fallout New Vegas. Independent hooker club.
Mm-hmm.
But you kind of wanted to match the amount that the arms dealer guy was going to give you, didn't you?
Yep.
Mm.
Yeah. So let me pull a number out.
Yeah.
I'm going to say about...
And if I'm not mistaken, I do believe we also mentioned knocking over that guy's rat holes.
Yes. Booting his ass dry.
I was literally trying to think of the mob terms.
It's probably about 10 million yen.
Okay. Cool.
$100,000.
Yeah. Somewhere in the realm of 10 million yen.
You see his eyes sort of. Oh,
I just smile.
You see him sort of. Yeah, but wipe the sweat from his face.
Yeah. I say,
You see it?
yeah. And then I say in English, megabucks.
Nice.
He
What?
he goes over to what looks like a broken arcade cabinet, kind of squeezed into the back corner of the office, and you see him just sort of like unscrew the front panel and sort of open it up to like a safe.
Yeah.
He sort of plays around with the dial for a bit, and you see him take out 10 stacks of yen. Pretty much Igarashi-san's account with
savings
me
are
for the
gone.
month.
I just suddenly produce a duffel bag that I've had on me the whole time and just hold it open.
Oh no, did we lose Andy?
Oh. Possibly.
Did a crab sniff
Uh-oh.
the internet underwater? No, we would have lost Roddy too.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was Andy because he's gone from the thing, but he's still on Discord.
Yeah, something in there. There we go.
Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah.
Yep,
There we are.
internet's been weird.
Internet hiccup. Yeah. It's usually me.
Let me relog back into VS Ninja.
A shout out to Jen Gutierrez for donating $20.60 to the Trevor Project. Let's go, Jen. Much love,
That-
Jen.
Thank you.
That's Fire Nymph.
Fire Nymph, thank you. Much love, Fire Nymph.
Mm.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Cool. Then they'll load up the duffel bag
Hmm.
for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you zip it up. You walk right out without anybody
Walk
knowing
right.
any.
Slung over my
Yeah.
shoulder, real casual like.
Not like Igarashi is going to be needing that money anymore.
No. And I get in, go out, walk past all the kids that are probably like around my car, get in it,
Yep.
rev the engine, and just burn out, and then shoot down the street.
Cool. Okay, Eddie, you are heading back to your own place to get a painting out
Well, to hide it.
to hide it. Okay. So you arrive back at your apartments above, and the flats above the restaurant, right?
Yeah. No, I'll come in through the back door like always.
Okay. Give me a cunning roll.
Hello, sir. What are you doing in my house? Let's see. You said cut. I'm not good at cutting. So that lowers my ninja, right?
Yep.
All right,
Yeah.
great. That's fine.
So yeah, you head in from the back. Just as you're getting that back door open, you hear the familiar voice of Detective Miyoshiro.
Oh boy.
Going in from the back door to your own place. Suspicious.
Always do this. I even have my friends come in through the back door. High profile
Tell us about
customers
it.
go through the front. Everybody else comes to the back. Even my workers. You can come in the back door and come talk to them as well.
I've already been in the restaurant. I've already spoke to your staff.
So you already know then that everybody comes in through the back door.
Some of your staff had some things to say that some chose not to.
I give like a upwards. I don't really know what you mean. Nod. Oh, okay. Would you like to have lunch with me, detective? Because I was about to make lunch.
In your apartment?
No, at the restaurant.
I'm more curious to see what a man like you, the sort of environment a man like yourself lives in, tells you a lot about an individual.
You can come by later on, but I'm about to start cooking in the restaurant. Help my staff out. We're still open.
Thank you. You've misunderstood. It wasn't a request.
Are you asking me to lead you up to my apartment now?
That's exactly what I'm asking.
I don't know much about the law, but I really don't have much to hide.
Then you have no issue inviting a guest up to your apartment.
No problem at all. I can give you 10 minutes. I would like to return to my customers and help my staff out.
Mash with the 11 raid. Let's go.
Thank you, Mash.
Much
Thank
love,
you.
Mash. Thank you, dude.
Hi, Mashy.
Hello.
Yo.
She's
Welcome in,
working
everyone.
on a beautiful art piece in her stream.
Yeah, I seen that earlier. I popped in as well for about 10-15 minutes after my art stream. I completely forgot to raid into it, but I did pop in. Okay, so the other, if you have to speak to your staff members, Maybe I could wait for you upstairs.
I kind of follow you behind and watch you go through my stuff because that's what it sounds like you're going to do, officer.
And you know the job at hand for a member of the police department.
Am I under formal investigation?
I have taken an interest in investigating you personally. It's called a hunch after a few decades of working in the police force that individuals like yourself don't fall into the possession of high-end restaurants without connections.
Sort of look at him with like a, all right, calling me a thief or something, sir? I was nothing but courteous. You don't really have to be rude to me.
I could say unkinder things to you.
I don't see why, detective. I've been nothing but courteous.
I am the firm belief that you are not an entirely truthful individual.
Pretty sure I've been pretty truthful to you so far, detective. I told you I would stay away from my shop for a while you talked to my staff, so that way they had no prior knowledge of me trying to coerce them or anything. I stayed away.
Oh, I don't know what that means.
Came back to make lunch and help out with my staff like I always do.
And that time, I came here and spoke to some of your staff members. Most of them, they say you pay them decently enough, that you're a reasonable employer. They did have some questionable things to say about some regular guests you have for the restaurant. And I called a colleague of mine in the gang task force.
Mm-hmm.
They've been under a lot of pressure recently, you understand. But this particular colleague of mine was investigating the Midori Ninoiri.
And I raised my hand to stop him. I don't want conversation about gang activities around my shop, please.
It was questions about your previous employer, Mr. Orochi. Now, my colleagues in the gang task force have been, as I said, investigating the Ninoiri for almost 2 years now, and they were quite curious in Orochi's rise to prominence within the organisation. And so I mentioned your name and how you'd somehow came into possession of all of Orochi's legitimate business contacts within Tokyo. And do you want to know what my colleague within the task force said?
If you want me to be honest, no.
I think you might. He told me that he had no knowledge of a sushi chef working directly under Mr. Orochi. And so one of his colleagues within the gang task force passed comment about someone matching your description working for a rival.
Working for a rival, what, sir?
That
Freeze
frozen,
and
that
goodbye,
frozen
Andy.
face was the perfect frozen face.
Yeah.
Working for a rival, what?
Sir, I have always worked at the Sippy Capital. Will continue to work at the Sippy Capital.
Sorry, folks, my alerts are being really dumb right now.
I can't wait for
don't know what's
Andy to
going
come
on.
back.
Right?
I keep trying to fix my alerts.
What
You're
you
having-
said, Andy?
Yep.
I can.
Yep.
it keeps disconnecting me, and I can still hear the voice conversation going
Yeah,
on.
Oh,
hear
yeah.
you as well. Yeah,
And the webcam keeps dying,
yeah, weird.
which is odd.
I'm sorry, Andy.
But yeah, he
I always worked at the Sippy Capital and will continue to. I'd like to open a chain of restaurants. I believe I already told you that.
I hear. They tell me that you match the description of some rising figures amongst the organization currently at war with the Midori family.
Sir, please don't let my physique misgive you. I am a worker, born and raised to work.
And I hope you understand that I'm being fairly courteous to you. Unlike those American police programs where we need a warrant and you're entitled to a lawyer, I could haul your ass down to the police station right now and keep you there for at least 23 days, and we'll see how well your business does while you're in prison for that amount of time.
No need for threats, detective. Like I already told you, I'm more than welcome to take you upstairs for about a good 10 minutes. It's just I would like to be there while you go through my stuff. Or is that not acceptable for you?
It's fine.
All right. And I unlock the back door. Please come into the back of my shop.
He nods. Step inside.
I step inside after him. I close the door. After having some few passing words with my coworkers right there in front of his face, I'm letting him know, hey, after I make me a quick lunch, I'll be right down to help you guys out. Keep up the good work. Change the menu. Change the special menu. Blah blah blah. Has he make sure the guests are well attended to. Make sure you go ahead and get new drink orders and typical business stuff. I'm having waiting there for like a good 15 minutes before I be like, okay, sorry about that. After follow me, and I'm gonna lead them upstairs.
He'll follow you up.
All right, so his apartment is simple, almost bare, regular couch, TV stand, the very nice kitchen. That out of anything that stands decorated is just the kitchen. A portrait of just him, just like with a sushi chef hat. Got a certificate on the wall from where he got his license.
There's secret pictures of Akimi hidden all over his apartment that he hasn't found yet.
Oh, God, don't do that.
That's funny.
Normal bathroom. It's like a aquarium design. He has a fish tank with smaller fish in it. His bedroom is just covered from bottom up to like cookbooks. Similar to when he lived with his dad. It's cookbooks everywhere. Cookbooks on the floor. Half open cookbooks. He got notebooks filled with like new cooking designs, like new fusionist techniques. It's all littered in his room.
You're an Emerald fan.
I think the important question here, though, is where is the painting?
I have already said before that the painting is hidden underneath his bed.
Oh, no,
But like,
never up there.
are we talking hidden underneath the bed, or is it like shoved under the bed? Like,
It is hidden underneath the bed.
He'll, take his time around the apartment. Take some time, he'll study like some of the cooking, like the chef.
oh no.
No.
You cut it out, Andy.
He's roboting.
Him roboting. Oh crap!
You're sounding like Omni sometimes. Our favorite robot American.
Beep, boop, 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 beep, beep, boop, boop, bop.
back.
But,
Oh, there he is.
there we go. Coming back in. I don't know what what is happening with the internet.
Yeesh.
Crabs are attacking it. Underwater.
Yeah. But yeah. He'll take his time going through everything.
I got those pots imported from Germany. Those cost me an arm and a leg. Those knives. Those knives was a gift from a friend before she passed away, car accident. Those working knives right there in that tool belt, that's from when I was working under Mr. Orochi. I got some and like as he pull out things, he's like, yeah, I don't remember where I got that from. I think I got that from like a street salesman. That walk, I got that from the Chinese market.
Here, look over the bigger knives. Would you say you know your way around a cut of meat?
Mostly fish, not really like beef or anything. No. My certificate's right there on the wall. Sushi. I know fish. But like larger animals, nah. You can't trust me to cut into that.
Okay. You'll kind of weave in and out of all the rooms. Well, he'll partially bow to you. Thank you for your time.
I give him a full bow back. Like I said, I have really not much to hide other than like my knowledge of cooking. My recipes are gonna die with me unless I pass them on to a son. But I'm single. I was about to say you would know something about that, but last we talked to the directive, you said you had a wife and a kid. Must be nice. I hope somebody can fall in love with me and my love for cooking. I don't think a woman wants to be challenged in the kitchen anyway.
Maybe I'll pop into the restaurant at some other point. As a customer, maybe.
Do you want to
give his ass a coupon? Yeah.
For customer purposes, not detective purposes?
That's fine.
All right. And I like reach into my suit and I pull one out. Here you go, sir. 1 free meal on me.
He'll kind of almost takes his time and delicately folds it and kind of sticks it in his jacket.
Fuck.
I knew it.
Fuck.
I have no idea what that's supposed to mean.
Fingerprints!
No, I have my gloves on. It's fine.
Evidence that you tried to bribe him.
Yep, that too.
Nope, I always have my gloves on. I just
that you tried to bribe him.
No, I specifically said as a customer, not as a detective.
Oh, that's
His
a
word against
conversation
yours,
between
buddy.
him and yours. He just twists it.
His word against yours, buddy. And his natural inclination to trust in authority has fucked us in this campaign.
He'll bow his
And he
head
can't
again.
not be a sweetheart. He just can't. He can't not be a sweetheart.
He's too good. He's too pure.
The best of us!
I will.
Oh,
No!
But
You will what?
Oh,
Oh, there we go.
cut away to Akimi walking in and stabbing him in the head.
not in my house.
he'll see himself out.
I'll follow him down because I told him I have to come back downstairs anyway. So I'll lock up the apartment, walk him down. Have a good day, detective. Close the door. Start making me a snack.
Then yeah, we'll jump back round to Eric, what are you doing? What's your character up to at the moment? While, someone's getting butchered.
Drinking? Probably setting up a meeting with my boss. Tell him that he's about to get a promotion. If he's clever and smart about it. Nimble.
Okay. Promotion?
Let's just say somebody elsewhere has been replaced, and eventually you're going to be moving up the chain just the same. Start planning for that now. I'm telling him about Akimi's promotion, but also implying that in the future there's going to be an opportunity for him to kind of ascend the ladder in much the same way, but leaving things ambiguous so as to not actually give him any specifics.
Anyone important who's going away?
Just a rat. I needed to know where their hidey holes might have been, and you were the best person I thought of to ask for that.
I think I know who you're talking about. You're looking for hidey holes?
Yeah, rat holes. I believe that's the term that the Italian mob uses in Chicago.
For those that are loyal to them, presumably.
All the money of all the people tied up in that little bitty branch. Yep.
He that's who I'm thinking of. He tends to run all of his money through an arcade, Cavapicho, to get cleaned.
Ooh.
Roughly what kind of figure do you think that you might attach to that number?
He's stepped up only a few years ago. He didn't quite inherit everything that he should have. A few million.
Wonderful. Well, that nightclub is going to be ours. Mine. This should be the last of it, I imagine.
And hopefully we'll be celebrating an opening party sooner than later.
Whiskey and women alike. And if he doesn't have anything else to say to me, then I'm going to hang up with him and get on the phone with the Yankee.
Yep. Well, I'm assuming by this time I'll have got home and stashed the money somewhere secure.
Yeah, because this is
Yeah.
By the time we go back to Chuck, it's going to be after the Fade to Black, so I'm going to assume that's going to take a while.
So I answer the phone. Yo, sup?
What's the take?
10 million.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, 10 million in cold, hard cash.
Sounds like we got the last of what we need then, huh?
Everything smooth on your end?
Silk. And we can like see on the other side, like the camera like pans over to like where like the halves are, to like show a little bit more of my half where I'm like dousing the floor in gasoline, and there's like a couple of like little children as I'm like just chain smoking.
Yeah.
I guess I wouldn't be pouring the gasoline itself. There would be children like pouring the gasoline while I'm chain smoking and getting ready to light my own parents' house on fire.
Yep. Cinematography for a role-playing game. I love it.
Right?
I run a lot of games. What can I say?
Yeah. Also, that sounds very Tarantino-esque, which I am so down for.
But yeah, that's what I tell you.
you want me to hold on to the stash for now, or would you want me to get it to you at some point soon?
I think the sooner we get it in a secure location, the better. Can you pick me up?
Absolutely. I'll head over right now.
See you soon.
Where do you want me to come to? Just your place?
Yep.
Go.
Down the block.
Yeah.
Actually, no. Maybe at a subway station like 3 blocks over. Your car's loud as shit. You've made it a point to tell
Yeah.
me that. Yeah.
Yeah. Understandable.
Yep. Don't want the neighbours saying that.
Yeah. Yeah, back in Cali, it was a fairly moderate engine noise. Here in Japan.
And
Okay.
I flick the cigarette and walk out.
And don't look back at the flames.
Cool guys.
Hey,
make a look back
Kimi?
explosion.
So, Akimi having all the lovely time they needed. Did we ever discuss where we were ditching the body for this?
I don't think so.
I think that's left up to Akimi, to be completely honest.
Hmm.
Sounds like you're.
So-
It is their area of expertise, after all.
So, there's... What's getting ditched is essentially just the head. Which, is getting left, right outside their residence. He, has somebody, no questions asked, drop a bag off. A little nice little brown bag with, a head nice plastic wrapped inside of it, right in front of the residence. They're just drop it there. Obviously, they're intermediary, so nobody actually talks to Akimi about it. And, yeah. Back gets left. Akimi ends up getting most of the body, but more specifically, what did their pinkies look like?
Oh, Igarashi's pinky.
Yep.
Very close to that.
Very close
Last
down
one.
there.
Mhm.
So that very specifically gets taken,
Knuckle nub.
as well. Yep, the knuckle nub, and several bones, as well as Akimi's gonna have themselves a nice set of rings made for all 5 of their fingers.
Well, that's necro as fuck.
Oh, wow.
Fuck yeah.
And specifically, their next goal is to take that nice little nub, put it in their prison pocket, and go visit their dad.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, so you're taking a trip out to prison.
They're taking a trip out to see their old man.
Yeah, you're taking a bit of a drive out of the city.
And for this, Akimi actually dresses the part. Akimi has on actual pants, a dress shirt, blazer, tie. Very, very masculine looking, which it would be a rare sight for any of them to see them in. Has their hair pulled back in a very tight ponytail. None of the makeup they usually have on. Very obviously presenting a look that they know their father will approve of to visit.
Yeah, something that the old man's not going to frown upon.
Yep.
Cool. Okay. So the nearest prison Tokyo is Fushu prison. So yeah, you head out. You probably get searched. You come in. probably a known associate to the Yakuza, so they probably make sure
Yeah,
it's a double pat down.
which they have nothing on them. They're not trying to sneak anything else in. It's just look at your puppy.
Yep.
Hello, puppy. Go see that old man and give him a butt pinky.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear
Oh,
the
here,
audio.
though, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
That is weird.
so weird. Oh, okay. Apparently the password is incorrect. Try that again.
Oh yeah, very masculine presenting and very uncomfortable looking about it. Like they're walking very stiffly, very not their preferred way of presenting themselves.
Yeah. That is fair enough. Yeah, so yeah, you come in. They arrange a meeting for your father. Your old man comes out in the prison, jumps out, it's grey, he's handcuffed. His hair's completely shaved, and you can see there's a number of scars and stuff, probably from decades of being a criminal, that sort of crisscross the thin layer of probably salt and pepper stubble on his head. The jumpsuit is open a bit, so you can see the chest tattoo, and he has his sleeves rolled up. It's been a while since you visited Akimi.
Kimi fully prostrates. That it has, father. My apologies. I come bearing a gift for you.
You see him sort of glance around, see if any or how many guards are paying attention. A gift.
Very quickly reach into the blazer, down, kind of wince a bit, pulling on something. Takes it out and wraps it. Slides it over with his hand down.
Sort of hands cuffed together, kind of cups him round and kind of pulls it towards him, and you see him wasn't expecting this gift. Whose is it?
It is from the man who is the reason you are in here.
You can see him smile, and he has a scar that sort of runs from here to the corner of his mouth, and it sort of twists in a really horrible way when he smiles.
You will be happy to know that he is being ready to hang on your wall.
The boss gave you the go ahead.
They just shake their head no.
Let's see. Ballsy. Very ballsy.
There are plans in place, hoping to bring the family back into the fold. specifically, brother.
Hmm. And who are you blaming it on?
There are several deals in place, and we needed to make it look like all of the families were targeted, so it would fall apart. And they seemed like the logical choice from within our own. Why does the universe hate us today?
Right?
I don't know. Yeah.
You're telling me.
Although, yeah, for a change, I've not dropped.
Right?
It's usually me
Right?
that drops like 4 or 5 times in a stream.
Let me try something.
I think it's
You
got
want me
something
to
to
cut
do
to
with
a
the
break?
fact that
And we just cut to
my
a break
sister is
now,
currently in
we'll figure it out.
California.
Yeah, let's go to a break. All right, don't go anywhere, anybody. We're going to take a quick 5 to 10. Hopefully we can get this sorted, and then we will be back with more Irezumi. It's about that time anyway.
Mm.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Thank you for your patience. Very sorry about that.
Yep.
Oh, it is acting like your camera is. What in the hell is going on?
Let me refresh.
Hmm.
Do you have the Kaio?
The what?
What camera do you have?
No, it's a Microsoft Live Cam or something.
Oh,
like that.
okay.
Hmm.
I've had it for fucking forever.
Thanks. I know mine will get stuck in a focusing loop, and I have to unplug the whole goddamn thing to get it to fix itself.
Thanks for the hydration check, Odie.
Thank you.
Cheers.
He's just the best. Like, amazing human being.
Oh, hell yeah. Yep. Yep.
Wait, Odie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We love Odie.
Okay. See if that fixes it. Oh, it's down the thing now where it's like super dark though.
Oh. But we can see you. Sort of. There
Yeah.
we go.
There we are.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, sorry about my Wi-Fi has been pretty shit tonight. So yeah. Chuck was visiting his old man in prison.
Cheers. Love you. You can take it with you. But yeah, so he filled. Oh. There we go.
I'm back.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
There.
So yeah, they fill their dad in.
I'm gonna close Twitch because having the stream running in the background is probably
Yeah, that might free up some Wi-Fi for you, some bandwidth.
eating up. Yeah, eating up a lot of bandwidth. I'm just gonna close a few other things as well while here. Yeah. So he asked you who you're gonna blame it on. Okay.
It's that business corporation, right? The whatever it is, the
Yoshida Industries.
Yep. He fills them in with what they were doing, what they've been pressuring on the other families, trying to keep their squeaky clean image, and this is kind of a way to wipe that right off the table.
Your old man kind of looks at you for a moment. Can you give me a cunning roll?
Oh.
Hmm. Ooh.
Like, obviously, he brought you up. You spent a lot of time learning the family business from him. You know the look that he has when he knows something important, but he's not supposed to tell.
Father.
Hmm.
You know I do not say this lightly. I know that look. What do you know?
He looks at you for a moment. He looks around. You can see that a number of the other prisoners who are here seeing people are also Yakuza.
Yep.
He leans in closer. As close as he can physically get before a guard tells him, like, no
Yeah.
touching. He said, Yoshida? The the former organization, what it was before s- ended up meeting an end. He liked to stick it around. He has a lot of kids.
Yep.
One of which was he had a wife. She was from a wealthy family. Their kid kept her name, that family name, instead of, being associated with one of us. The Yoshida family.
Are you saying that they have relations with our family?
Yeah, the former boss's children.
Are you associated with them, Father?
What landed me in prison was we decided to take some amount of revenge out on some of the people we felt were responsible. Being what we were, we tended to work the important security jobs for the old boss. Have you spoke to any of the Yoshida Industries people?
I have not, Father.
JJ. Hi.
Hey, girl!
Hello. Nice to see
Man, am I gonna have to gank my dad?
you. Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. The answer is yes.
Man, Kimi might not be leaving that prison.
Oh no.
Oh, right here and now. Oh.
Here.
Fuck.
That drama.
Disconnect to the end.
Kill, Chuck. Kill. My cell phone. No, because I was like, where the hell is my cell phone? Why have I'm supposed to get a phone call.
That's what the last 2 hours of the stream is. It's gonna be Drake dad dancing in sweaters.
You used to call me on your cell phone. Do the late night with.
Man, My Twitch bot is acting up too. Everything on my end is just acting funky. How uncool.
Thank you, Hope coming in with 12.
Oh my goodness, Hope.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome in.
Hope.
Why are my notifications not functioning right now?
Hope
I'm
from
so
Final
sorry.
Fantasy was the
Hope.
first thing I thought of.
Welcome in, Hope. Thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in, Raiders. Hello, everybody. So nice to see you. Thank you so much.
Welcome, Hope. You've been a great hope to us all. Wait, no, that's terrible.
Stop
Hold
it!
on, hold on.
Stop
Hold on,
it!
no. I hope to see you again.
Oh my god.
I hope you have a wonderful time.
Don't make fun of Hope. She's the sweetest. How dare you?
I'm not making fun of Hope. It's just all of the jokes are just happen to be
All
Hope
the
made
puns.
puns.
Thank you, Hope. Thank you for being here. Much appreciated.
I hope you enjoy my puns, Hope.
We are
And the
experiencing-
sushi chef was never heard from again.
We're experiencing a little bit of technical difficulties trying to get them back online. Appreciate y'all sitting tight, and thank you again. Welcome in, Raiders.
That sushi chef made one or two mini puns.
All right, we'll go. Akimi's full on in their head right now, thinking they're about to have to gank their dad, like right now.
Yeah, I love making my players kill their dads.
Mmm.
It's a good story beat, you know.
Hello.
Ayo.
All might be coming to Akimi real quick.
Anakin.
See if that fixes anything. Okay. Reload.
Chuck, allow the hate to flow through you.
Allow the hate to flow.
Join the dark side of the
Ooh, wah, ah, ah.
Do it.
Now I feel.
Do it.
Do it now.
Kill him.
Okay.
I'm not trying to murder somebody in front of Hope. Like, come on now.
No.
That feels like kicking a puppy.
Don't murder people.
How do you know what that feels like?
You've never actually stepped on your dog's tail or anything. Like,
Yeah, I've done that before. It feels awful.
just
Yeah,
how your
hurts
heart
my
and your soul just sink.
I was trying to make a joke.
You let them
Sometimes,
down.
sometimes when I'm feeding Korg, I kind of misjudge how close I am to him when I kind of stick a bug or a bit of fedge in his face and end up kind of hitting him in the nose.
Yeah.
with it. I'm like, then you just kind of see that look of betrayal.
Why, father?
Why?
Why are you
Father, I
hitting me
love
with
you.
food?
I just want to love you, Dad.
No, that reminds me of Billy and Mandy. Why won't you love me, Father? I hate you.
Okay. I've changed a few things around setting wise. Hopefully that
Why won't you die?
fixes things. Yes, you were asking the question if your father is associated. He tells you,
Oh, he just says, yeah. Damn, that dad's straight up. Yeah.
And what of
Internet,
this conversation,
please.
Father? Oh.
Internet, please. Internet, please. Please?
Don't you love me?
I need to pull that up now. Now I just want to watch that. Why won't you love me, Dad?
Why don't you love me, Father?
I'm about to look up the scenes now. What was that spider's name? Jeff?
Jeff.
I think it was, yeah.
Jeff the Spider, yeah.
they're the Nate.
He was there for like 0.5 seconds.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well. We are all waiting on bated breath to see how this conversation goes.
Technology. Yeah.
Right?
It's only great until you need it to work.
Yeah.
Hey now, but let's invest money into trips to space for 5 minutes.
You know that we were all
Billy
supposed to
never
subscribe to
paid
Netflix?
child support.
And
What?
going to Mars.
Who would Billy have paid child support to?
Excuse me,
I
what?
don't know. I'm looking at the scene now where it was in court, and it said, and Jeff was like, and Billy never paid child support. What?
But he didn't have a mom. he raised himself. Who would Billy be paying? How could they assure that this kid spider wasn't going to spend it on pixie sticks?
All right, he's back. Oh, god damn it!
Am I? No.
Voice is definitely there. It's the
Voice is
webcam
there.
that's being the pain.
Yeah.
Yep, the webcam just keeps fucking dying.
Hmm.
Ah, I see. Well,
You can just go without cam.
yep.
I could.
If
Just give
the
us a
audio
just give me
yeah.
an image that you want to represent you. I'll put it behind your cam frame.
I don't even know.
That's fair. Then I'll just use something else that I already have.
Giovanni of Team Rocket leering behind his
No, it's Geese. It's Geist. Geist is like the most Pokemon villain.
I'm
Geist
just going to
is the
use
one who actually
Kabukicho.
wanted to kill somebody.
I was just going to use this image of Kabukicho
That'll work.
from Roll20.
Put the word Sippy Kapu
There
up.
we go.
That'll work. That way if the webcam cuts off again, then still there. Yeah, your father, he doesn't need to outline his family's role in
Yeah.
the old organization. And that meant sometimes that they were bodyguards for the old boss's family.
Yep.
And that included all the bastard children. Of which he says one of the oldest of those children is a Yoshida Takayama.
And does that name mean something to me? Is that the person in charge right now?
Oh.
That is a person that Sato wanted you to come and make a good impression on when he had the meeting.
Hmm.
And what of this conversation, Father?
This conversation, Ikimi is difficult. We chose a side when the family split into 5 organizations. And they gave an important role to someone everyone knew was a rat.
So, well, Kimi definitely didn't bring anything in. Kimi still got, their nice manicured nails. Akimi is going to attempt to reach out and crush her father's larynx.
Oh, Chuck is going to be spending some time in prison.
Oh.
Okay, yeah, give me a physique roll. It's going to be a contested one.
If he kills him, that's just instant jail.
Oh yeah.
Your father's not a pushover. He's handcuffed, which is going to be a little bit disadvantaging, but yeah. 3d4.
Not fratricide, sorry.
Okay.
Patricide.
I will swap his 3 for one of my 2s.
Okay. So yeah, you've got all the dice to play with, and I've got none.
I'm sinking all of it into just doing straight damage plus the +2 from my tiara, and the other ones don't matter. So the +2 for my tiara.
You there with a tiara on? in
Actually,
prison?
no tiara. So just those numbers.
Got 4, 6, 8. He is a threatening encounter, so he's going to reduce that by 2. Okay, yeah. You grab him by a throat, catch him off guard. You start to kind of crush it while he tries to sort of fight you off. The prison guards are probably going to start shouting and coming over. Give me a second roll. See if you can get this done in 2 rolls.
I'm gonna swap one of my one. I'm gonna swap one of my ones for one of his 4s.
Okay.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
So yep, you get yak first. You've got that 4 available to you.
So 2 4s and a 3.
Mm,
Oh, let me look at my other.
Use your ninja.
Give it to
Use
him,
it.
dude.
Use it.
Fuck
Yeah,
up!
I'm gonna fuck it. I don't care about my pinkies. I'm dumping it.
So
What are you gonna
what are you
do?
spending it on?
Cut your pinky off in prison.
Yep. If I need to. So I'm gonna bump. How many ninja could I spend?
They spend as much gear as you want. You're burning through your loyalty to the organization.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Considering what's happening, though.
I'm dumping it. So I swapped my one for one of the 4s, and then I'm gonna use it to bump everything up to 4.
4 points of gear.
Yep.
Okay.
God damn.
So going for a one for one basis. So you get to spend one of your dice first.
Yeah.
Damage or
just dump
blocking.
it. Nope, just damage.
Okay.
He is trying to. They're trying to rake Dad's throat out right there.
I'm going to spend one of my 4s to cancel out one of your 4s. You've got 2 4s left, and I've got 1.
Waves also +1 to unarmed damage.
Ooh. Yeah. Changes things. Okay. Yep. So I'm spending a 4 to cancel out one of yours.
Okay.
He's trying to pull you off of him, or push you off.
Yeah.
I'm
sorry.
you're gonna spend another 4 for damage.
Yep.
Okay.
Sorry, Father. This has to happen. I'm sorry. Just no emotion as actively trying to rip out their dad's throat.
Okay. Again, it's not going to save him much, but I'll cancel out another 4. You've still got 1 left, and that's enough to, yep, you like sink your long fingernails in.
That's
Crush as he's like feebly starts to fight you off. By the time you've crushed his larynx, so there's a group of prison guards on you, slamming you head first into the table, and you're being hauled off.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Damn.
Yeah. Rodden?
That went a direction. Yes.
You're meeting
Mhm.
meeting up with Derek. 3 blocks
Yes,
away.
I
at a
am.
subway.
That's a boy. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. You probably see the smoke off in the distance. Um,
I'm
When
hopping
you
into
get
the
there.
car, just like not saying a word. Closing the door in behind
Yeah.
me.
Mm.
You're just looking out the window.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just had like a really bad sneezing fit. I'm not saying that
I
in
just
character. I Derek
Yeah.
Mayfield just had a really bad sneezing fit.
Yeah. And I just say, not even looking at you. Where to then, ma'am?
Anywhere but here.
Mm.
We'll figure it out as we go.
Yeah.
We're just right this far.
Yep. Then we'll drive off. No, seriously, do you have a place you want me to take you to, like, to stay for the night or anything like that? And, like, that's in character. If once we're far enough away, I'm just like, no, seriously, like, do you want me to take you to a hotel? What? Like, after we've sat there for, like, 5 minutes of silence and just like, so, where am I going?
I guess just take me to the bar.
Cool.
No, I was looking at the camera and I was like, man, I look good. My face is clear and everything. My arms are nice and so big. And then I look over and I was like, God damn, Andy's darker than me.
That's funny.
I was like, damn, I look good. My workout routine is nice.
I just want to point out this is the second time that Chuck has like gotten fucked in one of these. I mean, he did it himself this time though.
No, this is very much.
Yeah.
I don't to himself
yeah.
5 hour as well.
Yeah.
Yep. I will drive you over to the bar then. Sort of pull into my usual parking spot around the back. And we'll pop on in.
So, I suppose we need to get everything together for that offer tomorrow.
Yep.
God damn, do I sound that nasally right now? Jesus Christ. Blow my nose or something.
What I collected is secure at my place.
Well, we're gonna want to get that all to our boss.
Mm-hmm.
I've got the wire transfer ready to go into stock account. Or not a stock account, a goddamn stock. I guess stock account still functions in this context.
Cool. You can take care of that whenever you're ready then. You want a drink first?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. You ever burn down your own family's home?
Can't say I have, no.
I feel like it changes a person.
I imagine it would.
I did that for somebody else's vengeance. I just hope that they appreciate it. Maybe they'll take me out to a nice dinner or something for it, you know?
I'm sure they will.
I'm sure nothing bad is
we
Evan's
say
gonna
as
go
Chuck is
screw.
getting locked up.
Like silk. Although we're getting a drink at the bar, because we are delivering stuff to like our superior, Daisuke is actually going to not drink alcohol. Like he's basically acting as designated driver because he wants to kind of stay alert for, delivering 10 million yen
I have a
to his
whiskey.
boss.
That's fair.
This is the side of Daisuke that is very much like kind of loyal to the Yakuza kind of thing because of his upbringing.
Should we get the sushi chef before we head that way?
Can swing by his place.
Didn't he say not to go by his place?
Yeah, more or less.
I'll give him a call.
Good idea.
Bartender, can I use your phone?
Bartender will bring you over the phone.
I ring you up, Eddie.
Mutters something like, they actually asked this time.
I'm like closing up shop for the day, so I'm like locking up the doors and everything. I put my big ass brick phone, starts to ring. Yes, this is Sato Kazui. How can I assist you today? We're closed for today.
We're about to make the delivery. Just thought you might want to know.
Oh yes, the delivery of the alcohol. Oh yeah, no problem. Come swing by, pick me up in the alley, and we'll stop by the warehouse.
Very well. See you soon.
And I put the phone down. I take like a deep breath, and I go upstairs, and I pull out the painting with the Chuck's fucking painting, and I fold it up very tightly, push it into my coat pocket, and I make my way downstairs into the bottom of the restaurant, waiting for the car to pull up into the alleyway. Yeah. Okay. Great. So I'm gonna open the door.
Is it a 2-door or
By
a
that time
4-door?
we'll have driven over. 2-door.
It's an
Someone
open
will have
roof,
to get
ain't it?
that in. No.
No open roof. I was about to say, oh, I'll
I'm
just
not
hop
sitting
in.
in the back. I might be upset, but I'm not sitting in the back.
That's fine. I'm gonna lock my shop up, sit in the back seat,
Yeah.
and let.
You get like the big bucket back seat to yourself then.
Yeah, that's fine.
Spread out.
And while Robbie is driving, I'm gonna take like the painting out and I'm putting in like the back seat cup holder, all nice and tightly folded up.
The hell is that?
That is where is our companion? Matter of fact, it's their painting. I need to get this out my house.
They were.
So I'm just
Oh, that makes sense. They're doing their job. I suppose is how we'll put it.
fair enough, but I needed to get this out the house while those detectives are rummaging around my place.
Excuse me?
Detectives?
Like that is a full on slam the brakes suddenly. What did you just say?
A detective was rummaging around my place. He went through my kitchen.
Are we being followed? I ask you, Roddy.
I just like start looking in my mirrors and shit, making 100% sure we're not being followed or anything.
Actually, I'm gonna make it a complex
Oh shit!
Oh,
challenge.
yeah.
I'm gonna set
So
it.
technically, we could all contribute to that.
Mm-hmm.
It is complex, so don't worry about Ninja.
Set it to threatening.
Well, I have a
Threatening.
question.
Mm-hmm.
Is this going to be like cunning? I take it, yeah.
Yep.
Fatigue. Would me kind of adjusting my mirrors to see directly behind me count as an improvised tool for that?
Mirrors aren't proposed.
Cool.
If you had
Just 'cause I've got
sunglasses,
that thing.
maybe.
Got that thing for using like improvised equipment for it.
You have sunglasses? That's improvised.
I don't know if that would help in this situation.
This is not gonna help at all.
Just pop them bad boys on. Just pop them on.
Ah, +2.
It's already like my best thing, but just trying to get that every advantage kind of thing.
So well, Roddy's the one initiating the first look, so you can make the first roll.
Chuck just had to get arrested. I can help with this. Wait, I can help with this. Hold on, Andy. My tattoo allowed me to help with this.
Yep. Can
Hang
have an extra D4.
Oh, I got you, Roddy. So I'm letting you know right now, Roddy, whatever this D4 is, you have to take it.
Is it going to replace the one?
Right.
It can.
Let's see.
You have to take the one. You have to take the one.
You
So-
also lose fatigue from that one as well.
Damn it. Classic Eddie.
Can I just replace the other one with it?
You could. It's a food dog. You're not even replacing. It's an extra die.
Oh, Eddie.
No, I thought it was just replacing it.
Nope. You grant an ally an extra d4. You can't give the bonus to the same ally twice in a row. If the die is a 1, you also take damage from it.
Oh, Eddie, you take that too.
Yes.
Nosebleed!
So instead of helping you, like Sato's in the back talking a lot about this detective, kind of
Yeah.
distracting you.
Getting in the rear view mirror and stuff like that,
Yep.
moving about.
So yeah, you'll take 1 point of fatigue damage from the one that you rolled naturally, and then an
Yeah.
extra one from that d4 Eddie gave you.
I'm
On the
sorry.
plus side, you've got 2 frees that you can spend, and I have
Yep.
nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Mm.
I'm sorry, Roddy. I tried.
My fatigue's like 16, so it's not that bad.
Would you like me to take the next one, Roddy, or do you want to go again?
You can if you want to.
I have 3.
I mean, are we all involved in this, or
Yes.
is it just?
we're all in the car.
Hmm. Yeah. So.
2 force.
Woo.
Nice.
I have a 3, so that's.
I need to give me a second working out the damage from rolling roll
Yeah.
first.
Oh yeah.
It's
Mm.
2 4s.
I'm gonna add on. I'm gonna help you out. Please don't let it be another way. It's a 3.
You can. You've already done it this round. You
Oh,
have to
I
wait
thought-
until-
I thought it was like 1 per person. Okay. So it's
No.
next round.
Okay.
Can I get-
I'm gonna take that 4 out.
So okay. I'm gonna do some fatigue damage to you with the 3.
Okay.
So that's gonna end up being its threatening challenge. So 2 plus 2, so 4 fatigue damage.
Oof. And then I am going to deal 4 damage. Or 3 damage, sorry.
Cool. I'm gonna reduce it by 2.
Yeah, so I'm like looking in alleys as we're stopped because he said that he slammed on the brakes when when Eddie said detective.
Yep.
So I'm like just like looking around down like the nearest alleys and shit.
Yeah.
As close as I can.
Yeah, Eddie.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna give you my 1.
Okay. The only thing you can really do is chip away at this with that
Mhm.
3.
Mm.
So that is a point. The reduction's just going to ignore it. Then I'm going to do 4 points of fatigue damage to you.
You're gonna do 3 points of fatigue damage to me, good sir.
What's your max?
4.
Ouch.
Okay, back round to the top. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh.
All right, I can't help you this time, Roddy, but I am gonna help Derek this turn.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Cool. So yeah, you get to spend your one of your dice first.
Yeah. I would like to spend the 4 to do damage.
Okay.
Which is my full 4 from cunning.
Okay. Or just up by 2. Okay, I'm going to spend 4 to do damage to you as well.
Mhm.
So I'm going to do 5 points of fatigue damage to you.
Ooh.
Ow.
Mm-hmm.
You got some
No,
protection
just
on that,
that
right?
at all with mine.
Do you have anything that reduces?
Oh no, I was like the rolls that I've made with any of them reduce that.
You would have had to have cancelled one of
Hmm.
my dice out beforehand.
Oh, right, okay, beforehand. Right.
You would have had to have used your 4.
Right, okay, great. That's fine. That's
What's up
fine.
with you rolling high today and yesterday, Andy? What's up with this? Who you paying off? Oh. Oh, this goes down. Okay.
So take it you're going to be doing damage from one of those freeze, rather.
Yes.
Yeah. Another 2 damage.
Roddy went sicko mode. At all damage.
I'm going to use the other 4 to do damage. So that's another 5.
Ugh.
And you've got that other 3 left over to do some extra damage with.
Mhm.
Okay, I'll narrate all this ones for
Mhm.
okay. Derek.
Oh no!
Derek, I got you, homie.
If you give me a 1, I'm gonna be okay.
I got you a 3.
Okay, got you a 3.
Oh, I might be fucking taken out depending on. Okay. So I'm going to be giving myself a walloping this round. I'm going to spend a point of Geary to turn that 2 into a 3.
Okay.
Well, fuck. He's just gonna block me and then hit me. Yeah. We're gonna do that. I'm gonna change one of those now. Yeah. Fuck. What is my fucking fatigue at right now? 8. God damn it. How much do you deal on a 3 again?
Half your rating, rounded
Yeah.
up.
How much do you deal on a 3?
How much do I deal on a 3?
On a
4.
threatening. 4 damage. So
Mm.
I have to block 1. Or I could survive into the next round. Thank you, Eddie. I blocked that 3.
Okay. Then I'm going to spend the other 3 to do 4 points of damage.
Yep, and then I'm gonna be at 2 fatigue at the end of it.
Oh.
I did nothing.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Eddie.
Can I skip a turn? No?
You can choose not to engage with the thing. Yeah, I suppose.
I ain't got the points to do
Oh.
that, boys. I can help provide extra dice. So
Yeah,
Roddy,
you
I got you next turn with extra
Yes.
dice.
Stop
Yeah.
actively searching for signs of the cops tailing you.
Yeah, I'm like, oh shit, this
So-
is too mind wrecking.
One thing I
Robin?
want to check over: what is it you can
Yeah.
do again by spending Giri?
You can
Because I've
increase
not done it.
You can increase the one of your dice for a point per point of gear
Okay.
that you spend.
Yeah, because
Mhm.
I've
So
got
if you
9
rolled a
Giri.
3, you could turn it into a 4.
Yeah, I've got 9 Giri, so that might matter just now.
You can't
Yeah.
go 2+ over your ninja though.
I've
You can
got
only
1
use
ninja.
one
Oh
per,
god.
turn, by
he's
the
all
way.
I've got 1 ninja and 9 Giri.
You can only use 1
Here.
Geary per turn, by the way, if I'm not mistaken.
No,
Is that right?
I let Chuck spend.
you let Chuck use a whole
Oh,
bunch.
okay.
Yeah,
Geary.
I
Yeah.
know
I
that.
dumped it.
right. So round to me again then.
Yep.
And-
That's not a great roll.
Here's my dice for you. I got
Oh no.
Yeah, so that's
Oh my god.
that's a fatigue point.
I'm
Yeah,
so
good for
sorry,
you.
Roddy.
Fatigue point for Roddy.
You were the chosen one, Eddie!
So-
Okay.
I'm spending 2 Giri to turn both of those 3s into 4s.
Okay. Okay, and so what are you doing with your first 4?
Mhm. With my first 4, I am going to do damage. Just straight.
No, you should block it, Roddy.
Yep.
He can attack you back.
Okay, straight up damage. 4 points of damage. Reduce
Mhm.
it by 2. Okay. I'm gonna use my 4 to cancel out your 4.
Mm.
Okay, Derek.
It's up to you, Derek.
Swan song moment. Let's go. I'm down. I'm gonna spend a Geary to make that 3 a 4. I'm gonna spend another
yeah.
Geary to make that 2 a 3.
Okay.
I'm going down swinging. I'm gonna use that 3 to block your. Fuck. Let's see here. What would be the ultimate move here? If I block your first 3, then you're just gonna get me on the second round. But if I hit you with the 4, then at least I'm gonna go down before you take me out. So I guess I'm not gonna spend any Geary again.
Okay.
I'm just gonna hit you with
the
the 4.
4.
Yeah.
It's 3 points. I'm gonna reduce it by 2. Okay. Then, yep, I'm gonna hit you with one of those 3s and do 4 points of fatigue damage.
I explode into a shower like Mega Man.
The stress and anxiety of the idea that you may be getting tailed is essentially got to you to the point where you can't even focus on the looking for cops, even if they are tailing you.
I think I just take a fucking EXO to deal with the stress of it. I get the Darkest Dungeon stress symbol above my head, and I'm just like, fuck this shit.
Do you start crying because like burning down your family home and everything in total?
Definitely, yeah.
Hey, Roddy, can we just go to the bar?
Eddie, are you doing anything?
Roddy, you want to go to the bar, buddy? You know, instead of going to the meet up spot, go to the bar.
Don't even know if you're being followed yet.
No, I don't.
Look,
Keeping an eye out.
I'm gonna have to pass my turn. Then I can't give food out to Roddy, can I?
No,
because-
you've already you did it. that
Damn
time.
it.
Yep.
Because
Might as well roll.
Yep.
no, I'm gonna be fatigued as well.
It's only one mental break. It's only a mental break. You know, you still got your other ones.
Ooh.
I'm gonna use my 4 to block your 4.
Nice. Hey, that's the best case scenario.
Yeah.
My 4 to block your 4.
Now you can give it to
Fair.
him again.
No, he already gave Roddy it.
I have to give it. I have to use it on somebody else. So I have to wait this turn,
Oh,
or
got
I would
it.
have to. So like, if everybody was here, I would be able to keep giving
Yeah.
dice every round. But now I have to wait a turn, then give Roddy a dice. Wait a turn again, give Roddy a dice.
Got it.
Okay, Roddy.
Yep.
How's that roll?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, bump it, Roddy! Bump
Fair.
them all.
Do I need to?
Finish them.
It's the cops.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you spend one of those 4s, that's enough to.
Oh,
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Spend the 4 to do damage.
Okay. Yeah.
Hmm.
So you end up having to take quite a detour.
Mm-hmm.
Slam on the brakes, take a look in your wing mirror. You get the sense that you're maybe being followed, but you can't see a car behind you. And it's only when you get back to driving a bit, you do notice that there is an unmarked car following
Yeah.
you. And like,
Mm.
yeah, Derek's character, you mean? Okay.
Orogomu.
Kill me.
That works too.
And you probably spot the car. they're able to keep it, but like the stress of the situation eventually makes her break down.
I think when I see the car, I take the drug that I had on me. I was like, well, I'm not going away for this, and I just pop it.
Point.
Okay,
That takes
like,
me the fuck out for a while.
Sato's in the back. He's trying to offer advice. He keeps kind of getting in the way of the mirror. Keeps talking a bit too much about this detective, but you're able, even through all the stress of it, to just about keep tabs
Let's go, Roddy.
on the clock. And you know that you can't go straight to where it is you're going. You drive around multiple parts of Tokyo. Until eventually, like, after a solid maybe half hour of checking that rear view, you've not seen the car.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, my like knuckles are white on the steering wheel. I'm just like driving while trying to watch at the same time, like.
There. Okay. Back in prison.
Yeah.
Japanese police, like, you're already in a prison, so the prison officers take you somewhere segregated.
Yep.
Away from everyone else. They're waiting for the Japanese cops to arrive. And two rather gruff-looking Tokyo police detectives arrive. The prison guards have already pretty much stripped you. They've double searched you. So by the time that the cops arrive, you're already in a grey jumpsuit.
Yep.
And already in the prison, probably the room that they'd maybe use for like lawyer visits or whatever, but they've got you in one of those rooms, handcuffed to the desk.
Okay.
When the two police detectives come in. One of them introduces himself as Detective Akita of the Tokyo Police Department. And the other one is Detective Sakurai of the Tokyo Police Department.
It's a pleasure. I am Suzuki Ikimi.
They kind of look a bit confused when you say that. Like, one of them's looking at like a notepad. You said Sasuke Akimi?
That is correct. That is correct, sir.
You wait, you came here to visit your father behind bars and murder them in full sight of prison staff?
That was not my original intention in coming, but as I spoke to my father, it became clear that I would not be leaving here.
One of them pulls out the sort of sealed bag with the knuckle bone in it. The staff here said that your father had this on his possession.
It was intended as a gift. But his reaction was not what I expected it to be. See, at this point, just face still remaining sealed, but there's tears coming down.
We're confused. What did your father say or do to invoke that level of violence?
I apologize, and I hope you understand, but it is a conversation I cannot have with you. What is the give on the handcuffs?
Oh, it's you just rip someone's throat out.
Are they like pinned? His arms are pinned down.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much. They've got them as tight and as taut to the desk as they can get them. You realise there's a lot of witnesses to what you just did. You're not likely to see the outside of a prison cell for a long time. But if we understand
Yeah.
why you did it, it might help you.
All I will say is that he is not the man I thought he was.
Your father is a notorious Yakuza. Did you expect him to be Father of the Year?
No. He was never such a thing.
The Knucklebone. Tell us who that belongs to.
No. I apologize for making your work difficult. That is not my intention, but I cannot give you that information.
So we have you on one murder. Undeniable. Likely a second one with that Knucklebone.
That is possible.
We're both detectives on the Tokyo City Crime Task Force. Being a Suzuki your organization, you work for an organization, one of the organizations that run out of Kabukicho.
I am a simple purveyor of art, and if you take a look at my family estate, you will see that to be the case.
You can cut the bullshit. We know you're a member of the Yakuza.
I am not looking to discredit that. I am simply telling you, I have nothing more to say, and you may search the estates if you wish answers.
Talk to my fucking lawyer.
You know, Mr. or Miss Suzuki, you look like you could look good in a dress. Very pretty for being in a prison. don't think you're going to have as comfortable a time here as your old man did.
Is that supposed to be scary? You're silly.
You can see, like, the bigger of the two detectives kind of sizing you up, like, still in a little bit of shock and disbelief that someone of your size and build was capable of that with your bare hands. You've already saved us the hassle of having to get you a ride out to the prison, so we'll just sign the paperwork with the prison services here, and you'll probably have a trial in a few weeks. But if we happen to find a corpse missing knuckle bone, we'll probably be back out to ask you some questions.
Tell them they won't get any. Hit them with the knowledge, Chuck.
No, they will. They may do.
Well then, if that happens, we will speak then. Do you need anything else, officers?
Both of them go, ugh.
My people go.
Enjoy your stay. They open the door. You hear one of them very audibly telling the guards to, take that piece of shit Yakuza and stick them in general population. Close to their old man's friends here in the prison.
Just looking down at their hands.
Sorry about that.
When the prison guards will come in and uncuff you from the table.
The minute one of the arm goes free, they're gonna attempt to put their hand in their mouth and just bite off their pinky.
Are you over the limit for your...
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Then yeah. You, to the guard's horror, you stick your pinky in your mouth and bite down as hard as you can on that first knuckle.
Badass.
Yeah, it's
Damn.
pretty metal.
Bit it out into your other hand.
And then just bleeding.
Take your
Oh,
dumb ass to the fucking medical wing. We'll take you to the medical ward within the prison. Yeah, which trait are you choosing to reduce?
We are gonna drop that etiquette.
Cool. Yeah. Social stigma.
Yep.
Okay. Then back to the car. Probably drive it around a little bit longer just to make sure you're doubly safe.
Yeah.
Then what's
Oh
the
no.
plan?
No, we're heading straight back. And Daisuke is deadly silent.
Kind of tripping.
Like, if anyone tries to talk to him, he doesn't even reply.
No, I'm just chilling in the back seat.
Hmm.
So what's... If they're after you, are they after us?
Mm.
Daisuke, do you think they're after us? Daisuke, and I get like really fucking close. My pupils
Yeah.
are like huge.
And you just see my eyes are like just staring straight ahead on the road, but it is a look of anger.
Think they're after us?
It just the slightest glance to the side from one eye, from the one eye that's closest to you, and then he glances back.
I think they might be after us. I say to Eddie. You guys got water?
Nah, no.
Hey, can we stop at a 7-Eleven? I need some water. I'm gonna need a lot.
7-Eleven is around this time?
It's huge.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, huge in Japan and around for years and years and years. Yeah.
I never seen a 7-Eleven.
Huge.
And I've been to South Korea. I have not seen a 7-Eleven.
Might want a pack of smokes too.
I will silently pull over outside the 7-Eleven and just sort of stop and don't even say like get out, just sort of sit there, wait.
I like stumble inside, come out with like a chew high, like a 6-pack of chew highs in one hand, which is like a alcoholic carbonated beverage. It's kind of like a White Claw, and like a big, huge gallon jug of water in the other.
Oh, that was a big yawn.
The pack of smokes already has like one of my cigarette, or I already have like a cigarette in my mouth that's like lit, that I lit inside, and I'm just like coming out, stumbling over to the car and getting in. You guys, I like open it, like crack open a cold one, and I'm like, you guys want one?
Yeah, I'll love a cigarette right now.
Oh,
I pull back out into the road and just start driving again.
okay, here you go. I hand you a cigarette.
I am smoking the shit out of that. Like, fuck.
So we're gonna go see
In almost
films?
robotic fashion, I roll one of the windows down and go back to just driving.
Are we gonna go see the boss?
You want to go see the boss now?
I mean, how long do you
Well, the
want to sit
first
on this
thing we
road
have
for?
to do is drop by my place and get the money. It's a good thing it wasn't in the car.
You know what is in your car, though? My toolbox. I need to get that out the car.
That painting.
We need to go down to the harbor real quick. Maybe get rid of some shit. Then we go meet with the boss.
I'm okay with that.
Can we use your blog to give Akimi a call? See what the holdup is?
Do they have a phone?
I'm sure they've got a house phone. They might be home by now.
I would say yes, but I'm going to say no because I don't know if they listen in on my calls or not. Hence why I've been talking like, yeah, we can stop by the factory or the fucking storage room, whatever the fuck I said in my panic. Warehouse. That's what I said. Yeah, no, I don't know if they can monitor calls or whatnot. That's why I've been talking in nothing but code.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I need to go get a new phone.
Let's go see the boss. That seems like.
I hear they're making smaller phones, ones that you can type messages into.
But that's preposterous. What would you need to type into a phone? You can talk into them.
I don't know. I think I'm gonna get me one of those.
Typing is so much slower than talking. You just get your point across with birds. But yeah, let's go get the money. Let's go get the boss. Let's go get my club. I need somewhere to sleep. That's a hotel.
Oh yeah. You're welcome to stay at my place, on my couch.
The couch that the detective has snooped around.
Yeah.
No offense to you personally, but that sounds like a really good way to get nabbed.
I mean, you'll be
Guys
safe.
get grips the steering wheel a little tighter.
You guys are all worried about getting caught by the cops and just like and
Yeah.
handcuffs, admiring his handiwork.
Yeah, just
Right. First,
Cool.
we'll head to my place and I'll pick up the cash.
Pick up
When we
that.
get to his house, I'm gonna be like, all right, I'm gonna go get rid of some shit. And all I take from his car is just the toolbox. I'm gonna put on like the jumpsuit that was in that toolbox and head down into the sewers.
I put the painting in your pocket. Like, take this.
Aren't you guys heading down to the harbor? You can dump that over there.
Put it in the sewer.
I believe it is yours to take care of.
Yeah, it's not our deal. It's your deal. I would keep it, but you know,
Ew.
seems like a really good way to get killed.
But
I
yeah,
don't
I'm
just
headed down
lose
into
it,
the
though.
sewers.
Our friend
I
gave us
I
it.
will 100% doubt a police
Oh, I
officer
wonder
will
what
be down in the
Akimi's
fucking
doing
sewer.
right now. You think
So, yeah.
Akimi's thinking about us?
Jimmy's not thinking about you guys.
No, I don't think so. And then I
Yes.
didn't get the duffel bag.
Yep. Okay. So yeah, Sato was
Ugh.
going down in the sewers. You guys got a bag of cash and heading to go see the boss man.
Indeed.
The Wakagajira.
hmm
Hayashida.
And it's as we're driving away with Sato no longer in the car that Daisuke speaks up and just says, he nearly walked us into a police sting.
I kind of like
brother,
look
sorry.
over. You think?
He told us to come by his place and pick him up, knowing full well that a police detective had been there recently.
Oh shit! You think he was gonna stab us in the back? Like, get free himself?
No,
Like, turn
you
us
know
in?
better than that. You know better than that.
Do you think he was gonna sell us out?
Eddie, a cop came by your place and questioned you, and then when we phoned to say, will we come pick you up, you said, yes, come by my restaurant, where the police know I work.
And they mentioned questionable frequent guests to the restaurant.
You did. do
Yes.
that. I remember that actually.
You almost walked us into an actual police sting.
Purpose, not on purpose.
And I think now we have to let the captain know.
Yeah. Man, I can't tell if that kid is the most evil and conniving motherfucker of all time, or if he really is just not cut out for this life. I'm glad you're here, Yankee. I wouldn't have caught on without you. You ever see how the stars like move at night?
Yeah, you should see them over the California desert. It looks really cool. Like when there's no streetlights.
There's no streetlights out there. I can't even think
Yeah.
about what that's.
Yeah.
And with that, we're going to drive to the captain's place.
Yeah. She might want to down a lot of water before you get.
Yeah, pounding it.
Okay. Hayashida. We'll make time for the two of you.
Mm-hmm.
As I'm
Come
like,
in.
yeah, go ahead.
He's sitting at his desk in the headquarters, his feet up, smoking. The room's kind of filled with like a thin layer of like cigarette smoke because he's not opened any windows. Or like the windows are open, but it's like the old school air conditioning where it's kind of jammed in the gap in the window to kind of keep the room a little bit cooler in the Japanese summer. And it's not really helping much.
Ugh, stuffy, smoky. I would begin lighting up as soon as I walk in.
Okay, you're the one that knows the Wacky Ashira better, so I'm assuming you're kind of taking charge of the conversation here, and I'm just kind of carrying the money at this point.
Oh yeah, I told you we're very close.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
I walk in, and as the secretary like closes the door behind us, I very informally just say, "We're good.
We're good.
We're good. But we're also not so good. You'd be better to explain this part. I don't have anything to do with it." And I go and I stand off by the window, but on his side of the room, like just looking out, fixing myself a whiskey.
So I put the duffel bag of mine down. There's 10 million yen in there. But we have a complication.
I would say that he's there.
Do you know of another complication? Sir?
What's the complication that you're going to tell me about first?
I will fill him in on what just happened with Sato. He was questioned by police who have been to his restaurant, and when he wanted us to come pick him up to bring him first to collect the money and then come here, he asked us to pick him up at his restaurant. And I just look him dead in the eye. And that means one of two things. He's either very stupid or a rat. No offense, Eddie.
It's all inter-party.
But that is how it look. That is how it would look in this situation.
You guys are doubly fucked.
Wait, did you miss the part where I said I had nothing to do with that? So I'm only singularly fucked. What's going on?
What have we missed?
Akimi. What did you have them doing?
Akimi.
Take care of business as only they can.
You remember our phone call last night? Akimi was taking care of that level of business. What happened? They didn't slip up. They're so careful.
Akimi was taking care of business. Why were they out paying a visit at Fuchu prison?
Father.
Dead?
Akimi?
In prison?
No shit.
Oh. I just like Daisuke just collapses into like a chair that's in the room, just walks to the nearest one without even really thinking about it, and just like collapses down, like holding his head.
I light up another cigarette.
So you're tonight I have found that the group of young, full of potential members of the organization that I have been mentoring for over a year has a psychopath who murders their own father in front of prison staff, and an idiot who has potentially sold his own friends out to the cops.
Don't say that.
It's how it looks.
But we'll have
You
one
still want me to give you the money for a nightclub?
we still have one thing that other folks want. Guns.
From your German arms dealer friend.
Our German arms dealer friend. Exclusive contract. You won't sell to anyone but us.
Get him.
That's a quick way to end all the bullshit that's happening in Kabukicho at the moment.
I just nod to him very concisely.
To avoid any further surprises coming and biting me in the ass, just clarify for me who was Akimi taken care of before she went and visited their old man.
Same person who this money belongs to.
Igarashi.
Hi.
Igarashi Yogo.
So the irony is that you've got rid of one rat and you've potentially found another one to replace them.
Oh, I'm no rat.
I'm not talking about you.
He is.
Oh, he is? Oh, shit. Okay.
I'm a good boy.
You're gonna have to prove it. You did ask us to come by the restaurant and pick you up, and the police had already scoped your place out, so it looks very suspicious.
I'm a good boy.
I suppose that, good thing that we have the connections that we have now, then. What do we want? What do we need to do? This
I'm
deal
a
is supposed to go
good
down tomorrow.
noodle.
This deal is supposed to go down tomorrow.
We need this deal to happen. So there's a secure place for our new German friend to stash the guns that we're going to need to end this street war quickly.
They're gonna cut us
Akimi.
in, by the way, when they have recouped their investment. They will be cutting us in on the business that they run in Tokyo.
How
still-
attached?
What's up?
How attached to Akimi are you?
I like them.
You think they'll help business down the line?
Far
They
more
have a
than
very unique set of skills.
far more than they would hurt it.
Regardless of how talented they are in their skill set, they're now in prison with a lot of people who are going to want them dead. They're going to need an extra set of eyes and ears to watch over them while they're in prison. One of the three of you, including the one that isn't here, is going to have to put their hands up to something overnight so they can keep an eye on them.
Kind of like share. a look.
Preferably not you, because the German's your acquaintance.
Kind of share a look with Roddy, like. I know it's not going to be either one of us. We're not about to go to prison.
Come make me prison, baby boy!
I just bring up the fact that I'm the son of another member of the organization. Like, if there's anyone that ends up in prison that the cops are going to try and put leverage on, it's going to be me.
I don't know. They already have a case working.
Not
against
ideal
Eddie.
for me to end up there.
They already
Eddie
have a
runs
case
a
against
legitimate business. Fuck you.
Eddie almost got us busted, and we think might be a rat right now.
Send the kid
What
to
better
me.
way to prove your loyalty?
Yeah.
Don't do this. You don't know how much I sacrifice. Don't do this to me. Don't put a criminal charge on Sato. Do you know how much I sacrifice for this country? No, for this company.
Japan? I'll sacrifice 1,000 children before I let
You
this
know
company
how
die.
much I did for this family.
You know how
Then
much
they
I
said to me-
sacrifice for this company.
I'll speak to him.
Wonderful. I'll be meeting with the realtors tomorrow.
I'll be going to an auto shop tomorrow to have some changes done. Paint job. Maybe some new license plates.
Eddie, you're in the sewers.
Yeah, so since I'm in the sewers, I'm just gonna pull out Chuck's painting, throw it in the trash.
Oh,
Not in the trash, like throw it
Devastating.
in the sewage. I'm sorry, Chuck. Like I'm gonna scruff it down in there, push it deep in the sewage with my dirty boot. With my tools, I'm gonna find like a evacuator site where like underground maintenance workers are, and basically swap out their tools, keep these fresh ones in my bag, and then place them into another different site. And then I'm gonna use the map that I still had to pop out on the other side of Tokyo before ditching all of the gear into a trash can. And I still got my gloves on, so no fingerprints.
You're gonna get a phone call.
Yes, hello?
Little brother,
Yes, big brother, what can I do for you?
I want you to come to the headquarters and I need to have a quiet word with you. In person.
Yes, big brother, did I do something wrong?
That depends.
I understand, big brother. I'll be there shortly. And I'm gonna call a cab.
Get a cab. It'll take you back to Kabukicho where you can get to the headquarters.
Mm-hmm.
It's about a 20-minute cab ride, so you've got some time to think over why you might be getting called in, what you might want to say to Hayashida.
Man, I really need to get out of this business. America sounds really good.
But eventually, yeah, you get to the headquarters. You head in. Similar to like when they were in the room with smoke gates, stuffy. Hayashida is sort of sitting, cigarette hanging out the side of his mouth. Close the door.
Yes, big brother. I'm gonna close the door.
Your two friends were in earlier.
Yes, sir. They said they was coming. I was getting rid of evidence.
They told me a little bit about your police problem. You know a surefire way to get that problem off your back?
What's that, big brother?
The cop already suspects that you've done something wrong. And you have another friend who is currently in prison.
Which
and
one?
Needs an extra set of eyes and fists to make sure that they survive long enough that the organization can arrange for them to get out. Akimi.
Are you asking me to take a fall for something, big brother? so I can watch them on the inside?
That would be appreciated, and it would show a great deal of goodwill to the organization if you did it.
I can understand that, big brother. What about me? How do I get out?
You admit to something not quite as serious as what they've done. It'll be easier for you to get you off the charge than it's going to be for us to get them off the charge.
What would you suggest that I admit to? I don't think you would want something to stick to my record, big brother, since I run a legitimate business front.
You can always hire someone else to be the face of that business. What about the fires?
You want me to take the falls for the fire, big brother?
Less serious than taking the fall for Orochi.
I give him a nod. I can understand that, big brother.
I promise I'll keep your restaurant up and running until you get out.
I can just get my father to take over. It's just you guys won't be able to run any business through it, since it's in mine and his name after all.
Oh, I can imagine the look he's giving him now.
Oh,
Let's put some gravy.
how do you think your old man's gonna feel about his only son going to prison?
He's not gonna like it, but I'm gonna, rather than taking the blame for the fires, I'll get myself into a little bit of legal trouble.
What
This
kind of
or-
legal trouble?
Just some public disorderly conduct.
See, it's not likely to give you time in a real prison like where Akimi is.
It's all right, boss. He'll give me the time.
I'll see you again in a few months once we get you out.
Yes, big brother. And I'm gonna give him a deep bow and then leave. Like, I am, like, as I'm leaving the building, I'll get into a cab and I'm fucking pissed. And I'm heading back to the restaurant. Sit inside the restaurant, gonna call my dad. I'm gonna explain to my father that, hey, I got into some bad business and I have to pay back this loan and I'm gonna be gone for a little bit just to watch the shop manage it. Don't let handle the shipments. My dad knows what to do. And then I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna go in to drink. Where like the smell of alcohol is on my breath. I'm gonna change clothes, leave my nice clothes elsewhere. And I'm gonna make my way over to the police office, to like the police headquarters. And I'm gonna ask for the detective by name.
Yep, you go over and ask for so many names here.
Yeah.
Detective Miyoshiro.
Yeah.
He'll come out and meet you at the front desk.
Detective. I'm sorry, I had a few drinks. Is it possible we can get a private room?
You can come to my office.
And I'm slaughter my way inside his office. Detective, while I was down in Kabukicho, I have ran into some trouble with the Yakuza. I think it's because they seen you talking to me outside my shop about the business. And now I find myself in a dangerous situation. And I would like your help.
Oh. How can I help you?
Protection. They think because I have tattoos and whatnot that I'm a Yakuza member. I don't want no such business. They're talking about having me take the fall for some guy to go. I don't know. I'm not made for jail, detective. I'm a cook. A damn good cook.
Who's wanting you to take the fall?
I'm gonna name off one of the other gangs. With the game that I framed, the one that I set fires to around the area. Can't walk around in fucking Kabukicho with my damn t-shirt. People are like, oh, that guy's a gang member. No, I'm a humble sushi chef looking for love. The fuck?
Looking for love. God damn it. I'm on my love quest. Sorry.
The Osirochi Handan Ika would be that group, I believe.
We're gonna need more concrete information than that before we can offer you any sort of protection. We're gonna need names. We're gonna need exact wording of what they asked you and told you to do.
Buddy, I'm plastered and I'm scared for my life. You telling me the police can't help an innocent man? What type of fucking cops are y'all? Public peace my ass.
Speak to me like that one more time. I'll make sure you have a place and a cell for the night.
Is it because I'm being honest, detective? I come to you looking for help. I want to live, detective. I don't want to get mixed up in trouble, people.
This is where you, like... This detective has been mostly polite when dealing with you. Outside of the police precinct. But he leans into you. I seen you get into a car earlier this evening. And we tried to follow you. You know what? We lost the tail. That
you mean
car,
my American buddy?
that car belongs to the son of a Mr. Owahara, a known Yakuza underboss.
I don't know nothing about the underboss, but I know my friend. He's American. And I start naming off all of the American bands that he brought up. His car, how he talks about it. Like, I'm just going to name off all the American bands that he was talking about. That, like, really said it home. Like, all that man talks about is blah, blah, blah. Some American drink, blah, blah, blah. College, blah, blah, blah. The girls, blah, blah, blah.
Now, the point that I'm getting at is I'm done with the bullshit. I know you're a member of the Yakuza, and you don't come into my office asking me to give you protection from your own scumbag kind without giving me any useful information.
Detective, that's where you seem wrong. I'm an innocent man. If you think I'm scum, then you can just go ahead and lock me up. Let's see what fucking charges you can find. Huh?
He doesn't even hesitate. He slaps the cuffs on you.
What, you said 24 days? Oh man, I can't wait to get out with no charges.
Then I'll get some of those officers downstairs to escort you to a cell for the night, and then we'll have you shipped off to Fushu prison for a few weeks until, you know, we find some judges to, you know, analyze the information that we've got.
Which is what? Nothing? And I give like a alcoholic burp.
I'll see you in a few days. He opens a door to his office and calls in a few like uniformed officers to take you into the attached cells for the police precinct for the night. So, session is going to end with two of you going to bed in a prison in
Yeah.
a cell for
Oh.
the night.
One of the things that Daisuke is doing before he goes to bed is he calls up his friend at an auto shop and is like, yeah, I need a repaint and new license plates, thank you.
Little,
As soon as I
It's
get out
either
of
that or
prison,
he
I
tortures the
leave
car,
for
and that is
America.
not happening.
little bit of paranoia for everyone this evening.
As soon as I get out of prison, I am liquidizing assets and I'm heading for America. Fuck you guys.
Took that crane at the beginning. Got no balls
And
to
the-
die.
In Fushu prison this evening, though, you can hear other prisoners banging on the cell, telling you that they're going to make your life hell while you're here.
Me
For
or
your
Chuck?
old man, for Chuck.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
And then there's a few other who are just threatening to, like, make your life hell because you're a member of a rival Yakuza family.
Chuck, when I get over there, you're gonna be my bottom bitch.
Oh, honey, you got these both mixed up.
You're gonna be my bottom bitch.
Oh no.
It's only if they've not been claimed by someone else by the time you get there.
Oh no.
True.
Are you
Alright.
gonna have
Harry-
to fight someone for him?
Very much as this is happening, just calmly watching until finally I just see them bite down into a chunk of their lip and spit it out at them and just smile with blood pouring out of their mouth.
Can you pick up more charges for defending yourself in prison?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, fuck.
yeah.
Oh, charges,
Mm.
murder charges.
yeah.
hmm
Once you're in there, they don't care.
Yeah, once you're
Like,
in the system, it's really easy to stay in.
yeah.
hmm
Well, that was a fantastic session. Thank you very much, Andy. I appreciated that.
Yes,
That was
thank you
really
Yes.
so
good.
much.
That was
Mhm.
really good.
Chuck leaving us on a very much, I'm not locked in here with you, you're locked in
Locked in
here
here
with me.
Hell yeah. Well, I suppose that for those of you guys that want to stick around, we're going to be doing a little bit of homebrew homies. We're not going to be putting up the whole overlay and everything because I don't want to have to do 2 overlay switches for the stream because I have to shut down Streamlabs for that, and I don't want to have to deal with that. So don't go anywhere, chat, folks. I think, is everybody staying or is anybody going to be departing at this juncture?
I will
I
be
will be
departing.
We'll be
Don't be-
departing, but I'll be back later.
Sweet.
Mm.
All right. Well, go ahead and do y'all shout outs. Tell people where they can find you, what you're up to, and then we'll go ahead and close down for a quick break before coming back.
Cool.
I'll start it off because I need to go work out before I have to go for a long sleep. Hi, I'm Eddie. You guys can find me on Twitch or Twitter. Twitter. Yes, Twitter. Next month I will be having a fighting game tournament. Other than that, that's about it. I will be leaving out of town from like the 5th through to like the 11th. Maybe longer for work. If anybody is in Kentucky and knowing good places to eat, please let me know. I've been there before, Fort Campbell, but you know, I wouldn't mind going out. Plan on going to Detroit while I'm over there in the rental. That's about it. The fighting games in general are going to be Tekken 7 and Dragon Ball Fighters. So if you're good at either of those and want to win some money, just sign up whenever I put the signups out.
Very cool, dude.
Yes, yes.
Well, thank you for being here, Eddie. Much love, dude. Roddy, what's
No
up?
problem.
Yo, no real shoutouts for anything I'm doing just now because I'm very close to hitting 2 weeks of holiday, where I shall be very, very busy. Not with like work of any kind, but busy because I'm going into music festivals and stuff like that for the 2 weeks.
Neat.
Yes. Yeah. Slam Dunk Festival, which is this coming Friday. I'm going to see Run the Jewels a week today. And then a week on Wednesday, I go to Download Festival, which It's one of the biggest rock and metal festivals in the UK. I will be seeing bands that include The Ghost Inside, Kiss,
Fuck. I saw the
Iron
Ghost
Maiden,
Inside.
Deftones,
Oh.
Biffy Clyro.
I saw the Ghost Inside in Japan.
All the bands.
It was so
Yeah.
fucking amazing. He was like in this little bitty fucking basement, dude. Everybody went so crazy. It was amazing.
And my conscience is still struggling with whether I go see the Descendants or Korn on the Sunday, but that is a decision for future Roddy to make and worry about. But yeah, that's going to be me for the next 2 weeks, so I will barely be online. I'll barely be in the house, let alone online. Keep an eye out for me because it is Punk Drum 77 on pretty much all social media and sites. I might do something. The big thing I will be doing is while I'm at Download, I did have it near me, but I don't have it. I'm taking my GoPro and I am filming a vlog of the festival.
Nice.
Which I will put together and will go online sometime afterwards.
Oh yeah.
Because I did that at a festival last year and had loads of fun doing it, and I want to do it again. So keep an eye out for that sometime in the future.
Oh yeah, dude. Well, thank you for being here, Roddy. Much love, dude. Enjoy your shows. Go have fun.
Yeah.
Awesome. Chuck, what's up, homie?
Chuck at Chuck Does Things. You can see me here on Sundays on DMDM Studios.
Hey.
I've got projects with Andy. We've got Dice Breakers coming out.
Let's
We got
go.
some point soon with the breaks in between now and the return to L5R. Heart of an Empire. That the Sword of My Father might be rolling out. Ricky's been talking about that.
Go.
Oh, versus waiting. But yeah.
Very
That's
cool.
all I got, since you'll all probably see me in a little bit, so.
Awesome. Well, thank you for being here, Chuck. Much love. Looking forward to you coming back and hanging out, man. Andy, you're sticking around, yeah?
Yeah, I'm sticking around for a few hours at least.
Awesome. Well, then, I guess we can do our... I mean, you can go ahead and shout out your stuff if you want to. There's no harm in it.
We can do it. When I'm leaving.
Cool. No problem.
Yeah.
All right. Well, don't go too far, anybody. I'm going to be shutting down the stream for probably about 5-ish minutes while I reset my computer, just so it's all fresh and ready for the next, 8 hours. But, yeah, I'm going to be restarting, going back up live with the stream in just a minute. Don't go anywhere. I will see y'all soon.
Bye.